Do you feel like you're constantly busy, but you're never actually getting anywhere? Yeah, same. Everyone used to think that I was the most productive person they knew. But in reality, I was just really busy while never going anywhere with the things that actually mattered. Until about a year ago, I was the person who always wanted everything perfect, every single little detail. But when things actually had to get done, I was late, I panicked, I spiraled, and I got overwhelmed. If that sounds familiar, stick with me because I found 5 reasons for why this was happening. Actual reasons, not just the, oh, you just need more discipline, but 5 things that actually changed everything. Time is your most valuable asset, so protect it. Learn what is actually worth your time and what is not. Completing a project late and rushed, and not starting something because you are too scared, are both wasting your time. They just look completely different. One looks lazy and one looks busy, but both compound over time, making you feel more and more behind. So eventually, I stopped looking for ways to make myself more disciplined and I started looking at what was actually eating my time. Here's what I found: you don't have systems, you have willpower. I'm pretty sure you've all heard about how Einstein wore the same gray suit every single day. He bought multiple versions of the same outfit so he wouldn't have to think about what he was going to wear in the morning. He basically deleted decision fatigue. We make hundreds of decisions every day, so automate it. The more you automate and the more habits you set in place, the easier it gets and the less it will disrupt you. The more you automate, the more space you will have left in your brain to think about the things that actually matter. So set out the clothes the night before, meal prep, put visual and physical cues in your space so that they can do the automation for you. Same with decisions themselves. You're probably not making them fast enough. The most successful people that I have watched, they don't just sit around and ponder on the small stuff. They have bigger issues to think about. The everyday small decisions get made fast. Because fast decisions beat missed opportunities from overthinking every single time. And I'm not saying that you should rely on your intuition or your emotions completely. Keep a few filter questions in your head. But you have to be okay with making a decision and going with it. And this also connects to motivation because motivation goes up, motivation goes down. Systems don't. If you rely on motivation, you're relying on something that can be shaken by a failure, a bad day, or laziness. Systems remove the need to feel it, to feel ready. You don't actually know who you want to become. For me, most of it came down to this one thing. I did not know my exact goals or the dream identity that I wanted to reach. So I was trying to do everything all at once, and most of it got me nowhere. I was so focused on who else's life I wanted to live and who else I wanted to become, and not on how I should be transforming myself into a better version of me. And goals and identity are very closely connected. If you don't know your dream identity, you don't know what you should be actually spending time on. It's not a mindset problem, it's a filtering problem. No identity, no filter, no idea what to say no to. You're scared of failing and you're scared of succeeding. You say you're not ready. Well, let me tell you, darling, you will never ever be ready. But trying and failing is still better than not even trying. Think of it like food poisoning. If you eat something and you get sick, you don't just stop eating altogether. You find out what was wrong with the food and you try other foods. You don't stop, and it's the same with your goals. If something doesn't work out and you fail, you get up, you look at what was wrong, and you try and find a different solution. That's the whole loop. Here's the part almost nobody says out loud. A lot of high achievers actually fear achieving the goal because they're scared they won't know what to do with the success or scared that they're not worthy of it. What if it actually works out? We have this unrealistic fear that we won't know how to handle it. So, unconsciously, we self sabotage. And one of the most common and most noticeable ways of self sabotage is procrastination. Because you know what you should be doing, you know how you should be doing it, but you either don't do it or you keep pushing it off till forever. You're doing things that look productive instead of actual work. I used to research everything, thinking it was so productive. And research helps to some extent, but most of the time it's procrastination in a disguise. The most valuable source isn't information, it's trial and error. It's a lot harder, but it's what actually gets you moving. And I'm not saying stop researching at all, but don't go overboard with it, because after some point, you just know way too much, half of which doesn't even apply to you. And it just gets overwhelming instead of useful, and maybe even discouraging. This shows up in other ways too, like reorganizing your calendar for the fifth time, downloading another productivity app, or color coding your entire phone. It feels like productivity. It's the aesthetic of success, just not the substance. You have to learn to make a distinction between what's actually moving you forward and what's just a performance. And this also connects to why it's worse to set smaller goals instead of one big one, because with one big goal, you have a single direction that you have to follow. And with a bunch of smaller goals, you basically have a bunch of tiny distractions, because something is always going to come up with every single goal. There's always going to be an obstacle with every single goal. And if you're doing so many things simultaneously, you're never going to be able to actually reach the one big goal that you want, basically distracting yourself from everything. You want it, but you're not willing to do it. I want to go to the gym. I want to get better grades. I want to eat healthier. I want to make more money. We love wanting, but wanting alone does not equal doing it. I hear this constantly. Somebody tells me they want something. I give them the next step, and instead of actually doing it, they just go, "Oh, I'm too busy right now." Which, yeah, sure, it's true sometimes, but most of the time, it's not the real cause. And this is exactly where perfectionism kills most ambitious but stuck people. Because you spend hours working on a perfect production or a perfect presentation, but you miss the deadline. And so your anxiety rises and you get into a spiral, making you even slower. So the next time you have a project, ask yourself, do you want this perfect or do you want this done? And for all of my darling perfectionists out there, here's what I did. I set fake deadlines for myself before the actual deadline, and I gave myself fixed amount of times for all of the tasks. Because usually the task itself doesn't take as much time as we think. Perfecting it does. And here's the paradox for perfectionism. If you ever ask any perfectionist, what have you actually done perfectly? They couldn't say one thing. Not one. And that's the trap. Because perfect does not exist in the world. There's nothing such as perfect. So next time you get something that you have to get done, set a fake deadline and give yourself a limited amount of time so you don't spend your time perfecting it. We've reached the end of this video, so let's recap. What are the 5 root causes of feeling behind and wasting time when you're productive? Number 1, no systems, just willpower. Number 2, not having clarity over who you want to become. Number 3, fear of failing and a fear of succeeding. Number 4, fake productivity instead of actual work. And lastly, number 5, wanting it instead of actually doing it, plus perfectionism disguised as high standards. And none of this is about being lazy. It's about not having the right systems, the right clarity, the right relationship with fear. You fix these, and the discipline problem will go away on its own, basically. If any of these hit close to home, comment down which number you're having the most trouble with, and subscribe if you don't want to miss the follow up videos, because this is only step 1.